All right, everyone, that uranium deal involving the Clintons, the Clinton Foundation, and everything Clintonian keeps getting more and more interesting. It turns out that Bubba Bill wanted to meet with some of those actually named within this scandal. He wanted to go over there. He requested from the State Department, because, you know, Hillary, hey, can I go over here and talk to these people? Now, this is Bubba Bill, of course, speaking, not his wife. So he's not technically an elected official, but he's certainly the husband of a hard-hitting politician. He's obviously rubbing elbows with all these people, and he's a former president, so naturally it matters. Hey, can I go over to Russia and talk to these energy sector officials? And apparently the State Department was like, well, you know, we'll get back to you. And they urged several times, well, we really need a decision here. And then they're saying, we don't know exactly what the decision was, but he ended up just going over and meeting with Putin instead. I guess it took less permission to meet with him than these energy officials. By the way, why would that be? That's a little bit mysterious to me. Could it be because the Clintons were directly involved with the whole fucking affair? Yeah, probably, as opposed to Putin. Not necessarily. Oh, it's just the energy sector. No, I'm the head of state. I'm the prime minister of Russia, so you can come meet with me. It's okay. It's just diplomatic because you're not actually an elected official right now. I guess that was easier. It's easier to go shake hands with Vladimir. Now, it's also funny because I thought the Clintons thought that Vladimir Putin was like the great evil Nazi leader of the world. That's rather funny, but they seem to like talking to him all right, especially when they're making tens of millions of dollars from Russian energy sector officials. Apparently, the FBI was aware of this and Obama signed off on the deal anyway. Anybody find this just a little bit odd? Now, we've also got to talk later about the JFK files, because some people have a slight hunch that it might deal with the Bushes and Clintons and sort of the political establishment. Some of Trump's deriders are saying, oh, he's just trying to distract people. He's trying to make people not trust the government. Well, if you trust the government, then you should trust Trump. He's the president of the United States, part of the government, right? So what the fuck's your problem? As far as the Clintons go, though, we don't have to ask if they're corrupt. We know that they're corrupt. We've known that since the 1990s. People inside the Beltway knew that since the 1970s. They didn't even have to wait until the public understood, outside of Arkansas, of course, that Bubba Bill philandered and his wife was basically a harpy and would, you know, be a total gadfly to anybody who happened to cross their path the wrong way. You know, if you do well by the Clintons, they'll literally kill for you. So, you know, you're in good company, I suppose, if you're corrupt. But if you cross them, you better be ready to suck them off, or be miserable, because you're probably the latter, because even if you suck them off, they might not fully forgive you. And it'll be like Obama, where he had like Bubba Bill there when he's running for re-election, and the Clintons clearly weren't like really happy about him. And you see Bill's kind of slightly uncomfortable, icy stare at Obama when he's speaking. And then Bill takes the floor and he does his he could still do his charismatic Bubba thing at the time. And Obama looked really pissed because Obama realized, hey, people think I'm a good speaker, but I'm getting upstaged by this dude who's like, what, 20 years older, and he's really, really, really white, and, you know, other problems, and also richer, and, you know, more well-received as a president than I have been so far, I think was another problem. So Obama fucking hated the Clintons, and I think the Clintons fucking hate Obama, too. I think Michelle Obama's kind of on the side. She's more like personable, I think, in the political circles. But I think as far as Barack goes, I don't think he talks to the Clintons very much unless he really needs to. I don't think that he goes and has dinner with Hillary on a regular basis. Probably can't stand it. He's like, oh, why would I want to deal with these fucking weirdos here? Maybe he is an honest man. Maybe he really truly was just inept all along, but he actually is honest, and that's why they didn't like him. On Uranium One, though, this is something people have talked about for a while and for a long time. If you brought it up, if you're like, hey, the real Russian collusion is Hillary Clinton's involvement with Uranium One, with the Russians, Obama's involvement, we're talking years and years ago, selling a shit ton of uranium to a state that supposedly, already by his standards, was at least a competitor, shouldn't have more atomic material, was getting a little dicey in regards to Georgia, and pissing off some Europeans, getting people worried, was buzzing our coast. This was already happening at the time. And yet Obama saw no problem with striking this deal, despite the fact that the FBI itself was investigating collusion in this case, backstabbing and fraud and bribery and things of that nature, and extortion. Well, yeah, that's classic Russian politicking in regards to anything industrial in nature. But it wraps up the Clinton Foundation. The same people involved or were not even a single step removed from the Clinton Foundation getting a bunch of money. It's kind of like in Saudi Arabia. Now, there's a difference between, hey, the Clinton Foundation got Saudi money. Now, the House of Saud is good at money laundering anyway, but let's say someone in Saudi Arabia who provably and demonstrably was a total shithead, who was doing terrible things. Yeah, my entire fortune came from selling slaves in these neighboring countries, and everyone knew about it. Let's say 10 million went into the Clinton Foundation from there. Don't you think it'd be a little bit different? And by the way, it is still a little bit odd, of course, when basically a state entity is funding your foundation. You're talking at the time, by the way, we do such a great thing for people with AIDS around the world, especially in Africa. We love giving people like free AIDS treatment. Oh, just ignore the fact that we're getting money from a country where if you're gay, you get thrown off a tall building. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to the Clintons. But this whole thing stinks to high hell. This is a major scandal. I think we're not even through seeing all of it. I think more will come to light. I think it'll begin to be more damaging to the Clinton brand. But really, is there anything left of the one thing I have to say, is there a Clinton brand left? Hillary Clinton has come out now and whined and complained so many times, it's not really clear they have any fans left. Bubba, yeah, he's got some nostalgic people who like him, even though he can't really speak coherently anymore. He's not the same Bubba that he was before. Hillary Clinton, though, I don't think even Bubba Bill's a fan of her. So, you know, less dangerous than before. A lot of the money dried up. And now she's relegated to basically doing what she says Trump shouldn't do, which is tweeting all day. Oh, hashtag resist, we're going to stop the evil Nazis. Hashtag resist, this sexism must stop. Hashtag I broke the glass ceiling by being Secretary of State, or, you know, some bullshit like that. I'm Hillary Clinton, you know, vote for me, vote for my cryogenically preserved brain come the next election. Because that's, you know, what she'd have to do. She certainly, it'd be the only way she'd be mobile. He'd have to, like, take her head, put it in a cryogenic thing, and have, like, a scooter for her or something. Oh, don't worry, I'm still a strong leader, even though I don't have my own lungs. You know, I have to get pumped by this machine all day. That's about all. Peace out.